Millionaire fed a simple, little three girls for 10 years. 12 years later, an SUV stopped at her home. This is the beginning of a story that can touch every heart deeply. A millionaire once chose kindness over pride and changed 3 lives forever. He secretly fed 3 little girls every single day for 10 long years. Nobody around him knew the truth of his quiet sacrifice for them. The girls never forgot those meals that gave them hope to live. And then, after 12 years, destiny returned in a powerful way. One quiet morning, a black SUV stopped right outside his home. That moment carried the answer to a lifetime of hidden kindness. The man's name was William Parker, a respected and wealthy businessman. He lived comfortably, yet his childhood memories of hunger never left him. One rainy evening, while driving home, he noticed 3 girls by the roadside. Their dresses were torn, their stomachs empty, and their faces pale. William felt something stir inside him that he could not ignore. He stopped his car, went to the store, and bought them food. The girls ate quickly, their little hands trembling with joy and relief. That first night of kindness was the beginning of a lifelong promise. The sisters' names were Emily, Lily, and Grace, bound by love and survival. They had no parents left, only each other and their brave spirits. William returned the very next day with more food for them. Soon, meeting the sisters became his daily routine without fail. Sometimes he brought sandwiches, sometimes warm soup, and sometimes sweet treats. The sisters began to wait eagerly for Mr. Parker every evening. His visits became their brightest moment in a dark and painful life. Slowly, they began to see him as a father figure of hope. William's secret act of kindness was tied to his painful past. He too had been a hungry boy once, struggling every single night. His mother worked hard, but often couldn't put food on the table. He remembered sleeping with an empty stomach and silent tears in his eyes. That memory stayed with him long after he became a rich man. When he saw Emily, Lily, and Grace, he saw himself in them. Helping them wasn't charity, but healing his childhood scars with compassion. From that day, he promised himself he would never let them suffer. For 10 full years, William kept his quiet promise faithfully. He gave them food, clothes, and books so they could study well. He never told his friends or neighbors what he was doing. He believed real kindness was measured when nobody else was watching you. Every winter he gave them warm coats and boots for the cold. Every summer he encouraged them to stay in school and dream. He didn't want credit. He only wanted them to see hope. To William, the 3 sisters had become the daughters he never had. As the years passed, Emily, Lily, and Grace grew into teenagers. Emily dreamed of becoming a lawyer who would defend the weak. Lily wanted to become a doctor to heal those in pain. Grace wished to be an engineer to build and design for people. William listened to their dreams and reminded them never to give up. Their bond grew stronger, filled with love and deep respect for him. But one day, suddenly, they didn't come to their usual place. The corner where they waited was now silent and empty. Days turned into weeks, and weeks slowly turned into years. William searched for them but couldn't find a single trace anywhere. Deep inside, he prayed that the sisters were safe and alive. He hoped they were chasing their dreams and building better lives. Meanwhile, his own life began to change with time and age. He retired from business and sold his big mansion for a small home. Yet he never regretted a single act of kindness he made. For him, their smiles were still the most precious treasure. One quiet morning, William sat on his porch with a cup of tea. Suddenly, he heard the deep sound of an engine approaching his street. A shining black SUV stopped right outside his modest little house. He looked up in surprise, wondering who would visit him so suddenly. The car door opened, and 3 young women stepped outside gracefully. William's heart skipped as he studied their familiar faces with shock. They were Emily, Lily, and Grace, the 3 girls from his past. After 12 long years, they had finally returned to him. The sisters ran towards him, shouting, "Mr. Parker!" with tearful voices. William's eyes filled as his hands trembled from the overwhelming moment. They hugged him tightly, as though hugging the father they never had. Emily said, "We searched for you for years, and today we found you." Lily added, "You gave us food, but more importantly, you gave us hope." Grace whispered softly, "Without you, we would not be alive today." William stood speechless, holding their hands with a trembling smile of joy. Neighbors gathered to witness the emotional reunion that felt like a miracle. The three sisters shared the story of their long journey forward. They studied hard, carrying his encouragement like fire in their hearts. Emily became a lawyer, fighting for justice in her community. Lily became a doctor, saving lives with skill and compassion. Grace became an engineer, building projects that helped many people daily. They explained that his kindness gave them the strength to succeed. Without his help, they would have been lost to hunger and despair. All their dreams had come true because William believed in them. William wept as he listened, unable to control his emotions anymore. He never expected anything back for what he had done silently. But seeing the sisters successful, grateful, and happy was beyond reward. They told him that the black SUV was theirs, bought with pride. And today they had come to take him home with them. They wanted him to live with them as their beloved father. For William, it felt as if destiny was returning his kindness. The man who once gave love was now receiving it back. Neighbors stood stunned, whispering about the unbelievable scene before their eyes. To them, William had always seemed like just an ordinary man. But now they realized he was a hero of silent compassion. The story of William and the sisters quickly spread across town. People began to understand that kindness is the greatest form of wealth. The black SUV became a living symbol of gratitude and return. The sisters led William gently into the car with warm smiles. For the first time, he felt the family he always dreamed of. From that day on, William lived happily with the three sisters. They cared for him, protected him, and gave him all their love. Emily told him about her court victories and made him proud. Lily checked his health daily, ensuring he stayed strong and comfortable. Grace built a beautiful house in his name as a tribute. Their laughter filled the walls with joy that he never had before. William's eyes often filled with tears as he thanked God silently. For him, life had finally become complete in every way. The lesson of William's life became powerful and unforgettable everywhere. One small act of kindness can create ripples that never end. Feeding 3 hungry children created 3 successful leaders in the world. His own childhood pain turned into a reason for another's survival. And in return, his kindness came back multiplied with love and care. His story proved that goodness never disappears. It always returns someday. True wealth is not money, but the lives you touch with kindness. And William's quiet life became a shining example of compassion. Viewers who hear this story will feel inspired and emotional inside. Everyone wishes to meet someone like William at least once in life. A millionaire who used his wealth not for pride, but for people. 3 little girls who grew into powerful women because of him. And 1 black SUV that carried a reunion 12 years later. His story proves kindness can change the world silently but powerfully. In the comments, viewers will share what kindness means to them. And together, William's story will live forever in many hearts.